Hey Jam fam, let's take God at His word today. Today we'll talk about the history of head coverings for women. There's one for man as well, but I'm not going to touch on it, maybe later. But this has been the most controversial thing to talk about, and I haven't heard anybody talk about it. What I'm telling you right now is completely on because I was interested to know the history, how it started, if it's really mandatory now, because I get a lot of comments talking about this because people are too busy looking at me instead of hearing what I speak, right? So let's dig into it and learn. If you see 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 5 and 6, it says, but every wife who prays or prophesies with her head uncovered dishonors her head, since it's the same as if her head was shaven. For if a wife will not cover her head, then she should cut her hair short. But since it's disgraceful for a wife to cut off her hair or shave her head, let her cover her head. So Paul is writing this to wives. Okay, first thing, let's remember that it's for wives, that they must cover their head or they should get their head shaven. So what exactly did Paul intend? What was the whole situation with the law there, the Roman law or the Greek Roman culture? What was the whole situation with the head covering thing? So in those times, especially in Roman law, women were defined by what they wore. So in those times, once women hit puberty at around age 13-14, they would get married. When the women go out in public, they must cover their heads. Why? That shows that you have been married. If a wife does not cover her head, that advertises that she's either looking for a man or that she's up for a divorce, or she would be considered as an adulteress. These three situations. And Paul says that if a wife doesn't cover her head, she should get her head shaven, right? The punishment for an adulteress, for a woman who's caught in the act of adultery, is that they would shave her head completely. So that's what Paul says, if a wife gets her head shaven, it's disgrace to the head. Husband is the head of the family, right? Paul is saying that if such wife who does not cover her head and she gets her head shaven, it's shame to the husband, right? It's disgrace to the husband. So Paul was talking with this intention in mind. And first thing, this is for wives of the Greek Roman culture. It's not for these times. You can cover your head if you want to, but it's not mandatory. So please, whoever's commenting on my post, if you're watching this, do not comment, because this is the truth. I'm not making this up. This is the proper research that I've done with information of the past. So if you see, the normal dress for a married woman was to cover her head. That was the basic thing, which shows to the society that you have been married. So with this intention, Paul has written that. So do not misunderstand just by taking the statement without understanding the context and the reason. Okay, now again, if you go to Colossians 2 from verse 16 to 23, these are one of my favorite verses which will definitely add more beauty to my explanation right now. I can't read all of it because of the short time that we have for Rays of Grace, but here it says, let no man judge you in regard to food, drink, or in observance of a festival or a Sabbath day, because they only have a symbolic value. Paul says, these little things are only symbolic value. You might cover your head, you might completely wear white, you might show completely holy, sanctified through your dressing or through the way you talk. These are just, symbolic values. But the substance, the reality of what is foreshadowed, belongs to Christ. At the end, the substance is Christ. Are you highlighting Christ? We might cover our heads, we might wear white clothes, but in what way is it bringing the substance out? Because I've seen so many people, I've heard of so many stories who look so holy in their dressing, but have done few of the most evil things. So in no way is your clothing showing that you are holy. Of course, I'm not saying you can go to an extreme level of clothing, but I'm just talking about the basic things that people think according to religion, only white clothes, only covering heads. Okay, again here it says, let no one defraud you of your prize, or by insisting on mock humility. The mock humility culture is so in Christianity. You must only dress like this, you must only be like this, you can't look nice, you can't look beautiful, you can't take care of yourself. It's completely against putting efforts in how you look or what you wear. See, you think God wouldn't want us to look our best? Of course, He's made us. Now again here it says in verse 23, one of my favorite verses, it says, these practices have the appearance of wisdom in self-made religion and mock humility. The same Paul, who you take for reference from the book of Corinthians, is writing here that these practices only have appearance of wisdom. That means it's not really wisdom, it only has the appearance of wisdom in what? Self-denial. People think when you deny yourself, when you deny looking nice, when you deny wearing, good colored clothes, when you deny looking nice, beautiful or handsome or pretty or whatever, they think it's wisdom, they think you're holy. But Paul is saying they are just appearances of wisdom, and it's mock humility. And in another translation, it says that just by following self-denial and severe bodily discipline, that I should only be like this, I should only wear this, I should only wear that, I should cover my head, I should cover my face. They are what? It says they provide no help in conquering a person's evil desires. Another translation says they are of no value against sinful indulgence because they do not honor God. So you can't honor God by your appearances. By following certain religious practices, you don't honor God. Honoring God is honoring the substance. See, when you serve food to someone in a bowl, nobody cares about the color of the bowl. Nobody cares about what shape the bowl is in. They care about what food is in it, what the substance is in the bowl. So even God, obviously we must use our head and our senses to kind of dress modest when we go out or whatever. But here God at the end cares more about the substance. Christ. How are we honoring God? Honoring God comes from knowing the reality of who He is. See, that's why Jesus said, I only do the will of my Father. And He went about showing the reality of who God is. Healing, delivering, blessing, loving. That was a substance. That's why you never see Jesus pointing out any of these physical things. In fact, He condemned the Pharisees who were more particular about the position they prayed in, the clothes they wore, the money they were putting in the offering box. Jesus never even cared. In fact, He condemned the Pharisees. You don't see Jesus condemning the sinners or the people who came to Him. This clearly shows that physical things are of no value to God. They don't honor God in any way. What honors God is, Jesus showed loving, giving, blessing, healing, delivering. So, we honor Christ by receiving the person of who God is, who Jesus really is by heart. So let's take God the way He is. The substance of Christ, that He loves you, that He died for you, and that He paid the price for everything that you will ever need, right? So let's not focus on these physical things. Obviously, we are sensible enough to follow some norms in the society that we go out now, in kind of the way we dress, but no particular restrictions on the colors, covering head, no, not necessary. You want to, you do. Where you go ahead, but do not condemn those who don't. Do not judge. Who are we to judge? When God Himself doesn't have a problem, who are we to have a problem? For clear understanding, read from verse 16 to 23, Colossians chapter 2. You'll get a clear understanding that we must never judge ourselves, condemn ourselves with these practices, with these elementary principles of the world. No, forget it. They don't make any sense, because here it clearly says they are mock humility. The substance at the end is Christ. We do not need severe body discipline. We do not need self-denial. So my Jam fam, this is the truth about the head covering thing. Yeah? So this is grace for you. God bless you.